Again,
Yeah,
okay.
we do.
I had already announced, but not everybody was here. Unfortunately, Denise Garlic will not be joining us. It came up and she's had to reschedule. So, so we're gonna start with Ted.
Very good. I thank you for the opportunity to be up top as opposed to the bottom of the list.
Okay, Ted.
Anyway, unfortunately, the outstanding part would have been if Denise would have been here.
Yeah.
This is it's directed to anybody that can help. She's the one. But, you know, we are a council on aging here. Senior housing, I always keep hearing about affordability. This here is a letter or a petition from the Massachusetts Department of Veterans of Foreign Wars. And it's an official letterhead. It's addressed to the Honorable Susan L. Moran, Senate Chair, Honorable Mark J. Cusack, House Chair, Joint Committee on Revenue. And it says, reading this is better than me trying to explain it. But it says anyway, the Massachusetts Department of Veterans of Foreign Wars, representing our members statewide, enthusiastically and emphatically supports Senate Bill 1882, an act granting property tax exemptions to disabled veterans. We respectfully call on the committee to act favorably on this important legislation as soon as possible for the benefits of veterans and their families across the Commonwealth. One of the most frequent concerns we hear from our members is the challenge of keeping up with the high cost of living in Massachusetts. Elderly veterans of modest means have trouble meeting their expenses, and many cannot afford the property taxes on their homes. Many resort to reverse mortgages, which comes with significant risk to them and leaves them with very little income to pay for necessities. It is also severely impacts their ability to pass on important assets to their family members. This is not the way to take care of those who have sacrificed for our country. Senate Bill 1882 is designed to provide property tax relief that will lighten the burden on residents that have sacrificed deeply for our country. The bill would grant property tax abatements for veterans who were disabled by way of injury while in service or in the line of duty. Specifically, the value of the property tax that is waived would be tied to the percentage of permanent disability as determined by the United States Department of Veteran Affairs. The bill maintains existing residency requirements and echoes several other states that have implemented property tax abatements that reflect the level of disability and how much of the tax is waived. While Massachusetts has long been a leader in providing excellent benefits for veterans, the high cost of living in the Commonwealth necessitates additional relief in the area of housing. This session, there are at least 8 proposals to expand property tax benefits for veterans filed in the state Senate alone. This illustrates a clear need to reform our existing system. Senate Bill 1882 will provide enormous relief to our disabled veterans and their spouses, and will give them the assurance that we will protect them in their elder years and allow them to age in place in their own homes to the greatest extent possible. We thank Senator Moore and many co-sponsors of Senate Bill 1882 for this significant legislation, and we'll call on each of you to enthusiastically extend your support. And what they did when they sent this out, it went out by email to veterans in Massachusetts. There is a sign-up sheet, a petition. So they asked all VFW members to sign and send this back, which I did anyway. But the big thing about this bill here also is it's been endorsed and pushed by our former Massachusetts VFW commander from 2022-2023, who is a member of our VFW post. It's now with the new commander who is in place. But you know, when they talk about expenses, and it sounds like the town is going to get impacted, the money for all of this is supposed to, the way I've been told and understand, is supposed to come from casino money. We got 3 of them in the state. It's supposed to come from marijuana sales, the other sales relative to the marijuana, and also from the betting online and in the casinos on sports betting. So bottom line, it's not going to cost the taxpayers in the town a dime. It's going to come from somewhere else. So this is the thing that I wanted to turn around and pass along to her. And they used to encourage us at the different meetings and everything tell your mother, tell your father, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your neighbor, your enemy, your friend, everybody to call the state senators and representatives, because this bill is evidently in committee. So I guess our past state commander was in touch with Maura Healy. If it gets to the point where it's approved by then, she says that she told him personally, she will sign the bill when it comes on her desk. So all we can do is keep our fingers crossed.
Right. Would you state the bill number again?
1882, 1882.
Is it in the House or the Senate?
Senate.
It's a Senate bill.
Senate.
But I guess they both sides have to vote on it, I guess, to approve.
Right, yeah. Interestingly enough, my uncle, who has since passed in Connecticut, worked with the governor years ago, and they have passed that years ago, that all of the veterans, disabled veterans, their taxes, my uncle paid no house tax.
Yeah, that's it, because based on their service-connected disability rating, yes.
Right, well, he lost both legs.
Oh, yeah, it can't get
Yeah.
any worse.
Yeah,
But, yeah, even in Massachusetts, one of the things that they're saying as a, and not an excuse, but a reason is you get a lot of veterans from Massachusetts leaving, move to Florida, because this plan is implemented there,
Right.
so.
yeah, and I'm talking years ago, I'm
Well,
talking, like 20, 25, 30 years ago, this in Connecticut, this was passed. What we're waiting for, I have no idea.
I know, there's also another couple of other ones, but I won't use it for this meeting, I'll use it as another one. Stuff that this town is behind, whereas the state already implemented and other towns already have, but. So I'll just, excuse myself and go on to the my next meeting.
Thank
Because I gotta drive there, dark, yeah.
Thank you.
So we're happy to support this in any way that we can.
Good, thank you, thank you. And like I said, I'll try to put it in an envelope with a note and I'll mail it off to her that we missed her at the meeting, but
Yeah.
she'll get the note anyway.
Let her know.
All right, thank you all.
Absolutely.
Okay,
thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm gonna, obviously, I've already moved things around, so I think I'll do it again. And go through the services division information before we, get into board goals and, okay, so, Latanya, do you wanna start? Do you wanna?
Yeah, I don't have much, I don't know if you all got this chance to see Aisha. Aisha has returned, she won't be attending the board meeting tonight, but she provided an update for, program. We're kind of implementing that slowly, but has several emails to go through, so she'll be back at the next one. Not too much going on with. Today was a busy day. Thanksgiving dinner, and I wanted to say those that volunteered, thank you so much. It was well attended, so thank you and thank you. We have another dinner bell coming up for December the 19th, and that's the last one for the year, so I may need some volunteers, and I'll send an email. And me and Jess attended a leadership team meeting about the budget that's being proposed for the annual meeting coming up. So fingers crossed that we'll get everything that we needed, that we need so desperately, but you never know. Yeah. That's it.
Okay. Jess and.
Oh, I forgot the big announcement. The front door is fixed.
Yeah.
But it's fixed, but it's not working according to what I was.
Yeah, so it is fixed, but it's still some kinks that you have to iron out. So we'll, just having the new doors half the battle.
Right, cause I noticed when I came in, it's open.
Yeah,
It
it
can't,
has to stay open.
it can't close.
It
Yeah.
can't close. They put in a different door with The other one, you had a different lock and you could unlock it, but.
Yeah, Houston was telling me.
Yeah.
Well, the doors.
No, not all night,
No,
just
no,
why,
no.
while there's
It's
meetings
just
and
that it
stuff,
can't, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Otherwise it'll be locked and, no one
And it has
can get
something
in.
to do with power, or I don't know, we have too much power than the door has too much power than us, I can't remember which it was, but. I know, Craig, we've got a door, we can't do anything. Typical.
Normal.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
True. Fixed, but.
Yeah, so that's.
Jess, anything that you'd like to
Yeah,
mention? Yeah.
we have a couple exciting things happening in the social work division. We our newest social work, Isabel Dick, has started office hours at the Community Council Food Pantry, which was her interview idea, and she's made it happen. So we're really proud of her and excited about it. So every Wednesday while the food pantry is open, she's there from 10 to 1:30, I think, right? And she's doing 20-minute slots. People can sign up in advance or the day of. We're, offering free consultations to people who are under 60. Obviously, that's not our population, but we're, giving them resources. And then anyone who's within our age range, we can pick them up and take them on if they need ongoing help. But it's been a really great experience so far. She shared with us, we've connected with a lot of new people who we haven't yet. So it's a great way for us to get the word out there about, the CAF and kind of meet new groups of people that maybe aren't connected with us yet. So we're going to try and keep that going. And we did start kind of a new system we want to collect data on it, obviously, because I think, this could be really valuable for us, for grants and different things. So we just started collecting, demographic data and needs data on that. So really excited about that. We're still trying to start that mobile food pantry. I'm not giving up yet. We applied for another grant, so keep your fingers crossed that someone will fund this. We really want to start that mobile food pantry here at the CAF as well. Food security kind of remains a big priority of ours. We're still spearheading the Homelessness Prevention Coalition, which is an interdisciplinary team in Needham with the police, fire, public health, and then local kind of interested persons, the clergy, sometimes they're the hospital. So we really kind of, the last meeting made a lot of headway on refining our mission, and trying to kind of pool our resources so that, we can have resources available when homeless people come in. We've had just more incidences of it lately. So we're looking at putting together packets with gift cards. We've a few times had to use the community council for warm clothes for people. So we're just trying to kind of have everything more at our fingertips so that when someone does walk in, we're not scrambling to call all the different departments to get that person what they need.
Jessica, do you have the Friends of the Board of Health on that list? Because they're trying to actually put some money into a CD, so they have some interest accruing on it, that they can perhaps help with that. It's gonna be, I think it's an 11-month CD, so it's a little way down the
Gotta
road.
wait.
But they specifically with that in mind, because the director heard a very sad story, and she wanted to try and do something. It's a little ways down, but put us on your list.
I
Put them
will,
on your
yeah,
list.
absolutely.
Because,
We have people from the public health department, but not from the Board of Health, so we can
Well, this
definitely.
is the Friends of the
Friends of the
Board of Health
Oh,
and
friends.
Traveling Meals.
Oh, okay,
The
yeah,
mouthful.
no, absolutely,
That
absolutely.
mouthful.
I'll connect with you and do that. Thank you, yeah. We're also working on getting the schools haven't been with us yet, and I think we just figured out who to reach out to at the school, so we're hoping to loop them in as well. But that would be great, thank you.
And it's not gonna be a whole lot in the beginning, but so that something is there. That's
Yeah,
all.
absolutely. I appreciate that. We spend a lot of time kind of collecting data as a group and looking at it and figuring out kind of what trends there are and what we're seeing. And a lot of the, we kind of calculated the average age of the homeless, persons that have come through Needham is like mid-50s. So it's pretty close to kind of our demographic. So I feel glad that we're kind of working on this, and we'll continue to work on this. Our counseling program is still going strong. We're managing our wait list right now. We have an intern now from BC who's wonderful. She's been helping, and being fully staffed is huge on that front. So that's a relief. We also met with Be Kind Needham, which is a group in Needham that does a lot of volunteer work just to learn more about what they do, and just potential ways that we could partner with them in the future. It does seem like they have a big outreach in town, and are doing a lot of work, so we met with them. And then, yeah, that's about it on the social work front. Volunteer wise, we're holding steady. We're around 26 volunteers. The gift shop has been meeting monthly, which has been great. Our big initiative right now is we're just trying to get more people Serve Safe certified, so we've started that process.
I think Carol and I have another year. Yeah, I think we have another year on ours. So
Okay.
then we have to. I think that's the- That's scary, Jen.
Don't say that. I'm like midway through the course. It's made me never want to eat out again.
My refrigerator got redone, and it's like redoing my whole refrigerator according to what they say.
Oh, really?
needs to be on what shelf. Yeah, oh, yeah, it was,
It's very
Yeah.
specific, yeah.
don't put your meat on the top shelf, for your. No.
You know, top of your
Yeah, right, everything else, yeah, it's, yeah.
I'm amazed I've survived this long, to be honest.
Yeah, you know. Especially our-
Anyway.
We have to
Yeah, right?
right out of the water.
And it just.
That's it, yeah, thank you.
Great. Anything on Shine?
Yeah, they couldn't make it today. I'll do their update. They've been just very busy with open enrollment right now, and as of today, there's only a few appointments left in Northborough. Everything else is full through the end of open enrollment. And in the last month, they've done tons of outreach and presentations. They did a presentation at Wellesley College. They went to a farmer's market in Newton. They've done a bunch of trainings for counselors. And then they, along with us, are kind of keeping closely in touch with Mass Health updates. That post-COVID recertification is still going on. We had a meeting with Springwell, who's hired people to help people recertify with Mass Health, which was really helpful. And they basically said any consumers who are coming in that are over 60 that need help with it, they're happy to do it. It really hasn't been a windfall from what we've experienced and what they've experienced. So it's great to know that they're out there to help.
Okay, Step on anything, I know there's something about, we need to buy another van. Oh, God.
Yeah, and I put his things in the, updates and the board report, all to, will be goes in repair in December. Capital plan was submitted, he helped with that for 2027. And he did all the estimates on the new van, a new plan. Unfortunately, the hydraulic system that lets the stairs down, like the MBTA, would definitely be out of reach. It's very expensive. I forgot how much he quoted, but that would be wonderful for people with mobile disability if that would happen. And he also took a training and aced it 100%.
Right, yeah.
Perfect score, so I included a little a certificate to show, yep. And that's it.
Okay, great. Board goals, we have been asked to come up for some goals for our I don't know, obviously 2024. It's not exactly anything we've ever done before, surprisingly enough. I'm not even sure where this came from, but apparently the town is asking all of their committees to set goals, and so we're one of them. So I did send out a notice or a request to think about it. And I can see everybody's just ready to jump in. The time.
So I also sent had Andy to send the select board goals to see you know, what they were proposing, and I thought that might be helpful just to stir up some interest, and I can resend those out.
I know the one thing that I feel that we should definitely be one of our goals, and how exactly we word it, I'm not sure, but housing has got to be what, I mean, that is just, as you can see by everything that's going on in town between the MBTA and the, affordable housing and all this stuff, certainly to continue to promote, affordable housing and housing period for seniors, that need to downsize or whatever, is certainly. I'm sorry.
In a good location.
I think that should be one of our top goals.
Right, that's, yeah, exactly.
And we should.
Stay on top of.
So I'm not a big one for writing goals that take place 10 years down the pipe.
Right,
And the housing thing is gonna take 5 to 10 years.
true, but there are things that are going on in town that, cause I
Yeah,
try to.
preliminary, yeah, I
You
agree.
know, you and I go to the planning
Yeah,
board
right,
meetings when something is there and, but there are things that are in the works, so to
Mhm.
speak. That,
Anything that we think on housing goals
right,
should, I think, be focused on senior housing,
Oh, yeah.
since we're the council on it.
Yeah,
That's our, yeah.
right, exactly, exactly.
But, so my short-term goals are to do the projects even in this facility that haven't been done, that we've been advocating for 5 years. Whether it be switching the gym, whether it's been, the kitchen is now an issue. But I think credit cards for programming, I think those are goals. I'm an operations guy, not a planner. So my focus is all towards operations. And I think, those are things, the front door took 3 years.
Yeah, and it's not really fixed yet.
Actually, it's longer than 3 years, but that's.
Slowly going.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I endorse that. I think whatever we can do to make the environment that seniors come to enjoy. I put that as a top goal, like, you said, it's now, what are the things that. Heating is one thing. I know we keep told, oh, we can't do anything, it's somewhere else, but. Seems to me where there's the political will to correct something, it gets done. And so I think we ought to stir up some political will to address those issues that seem to be just in somewhere else controls it. And that's what I like to do.
Yeah, there has to, and I don't exactly, a lot of this is financial. A lot of it is things that that it's gonna cost.
Oh, yes, all of
And
that.
the problem is the cost factor, if we can even get it to town meeting. Or to the finance committee, doesn't always seem to, go much, I mean, it's always seems to be at the bottom of the pile.
Well, that's why at the point, when it just the things like finance committee, we have to advocate with them.
Exactly.
Be there en masse at their meeting and
Right.
have a good spokesperson.
Right, and that's why I try and, like with the planning board, I try and at least have my face there and Dan goes too.
But should be bombarding them with the seniors of Neenah. And we would say, this is how important it is. We have 100 people here that are like, this is what we want, instead of. We rally the troops.
Right,
That way
yeah.
to express it, and we did, I define it as political, the people who are in the decision making roles need to feel some pressure, you feel.
Right.
That's,
The largest percentage of people who vote in local elections are seniors.
Exactly.
So
Yep.
obviously they're not gonna vote for things like schools and everything else if they're not. I don't have to that. But we need to make that point. Not black, no, just the way it is.
Our goal. Better get it on the line.
Anything else?
Did we ever figure out the whole thing of the drivers and all that? Did we ever get the?
We got, I believe they got $1. $1 an hour raise.
Yeah, and I heard they're gonna be re-examining schedules soon.
What's that, we think we're okay though now with that?
We have enough drivers, but we still, would like to have our drivers earn more because
Oh,
other
absolutely.
towns are paying more. The school department drivers make more than what they can
Yeah.
drive. But yeah, we're full them.
Are the drivers paid as hourly employees for the town or hourly?
Yes, but the drivers can only work 19.5 hours.
So they're not on contract, because
Yeah.
I've heard that contracts in the town are all held up.
Oh, no, they're not on a contract. They're a regular part-time employee.
That was one of my questions, what's going on with contracts, how's that affecting us?
Well,
Is that big school buses?
Yes, people who have contractual.
yeah, so I think they have a procurement person now.
They do.
They do, so things should be moving. Get moving now.
Okay.
That's the
Because
update I
heard
have.
everything was like,
Yeah,
stop.
not stop, but backed up. So if you think about all of the departments that are waiting on contracts to be approved, so. They're coming down the pipeline.
Okay.
So now that we have enough drivers, are we able to provide transportation after 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
We're gonna meet with the team to see how things should, gonna progress. I know we branched out with trips, so just trying to coordinate it all together.
Okay, yeah. I guess we have to. We meaning the staff has to decide whether, being able to stay here and socialize and participate is more important than going to a casino for a small amount of people. I just,
Yeah, I think part of the trip increase though is like there's more grocery shopping happening, the loop around town restarted too, so. Yeah, I agree, it's a balance. We're trying to figure out,
Right.
yeah.
But also, there used to be a cadre of people who would stay here later.
yes,
in the afternoon.
absolutely.
Now they don't stay, you come in here after 2 o'clock and.
There's no,
Okay.
yeah, there's a couple of tables with, people playing games, but that's, yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
And I don't
Before,
know-
it used to be, you come in at 4:30 and there'd be, the cap would be full of people.
And we're definitely looking at that, and then now that it gets darker quicker, people tend to leave anyway, because they don't wanna drive in the dark. I noticed even with the dinner bells, that causes some type, everyone doesn't, some people say, oh, I don't wanna drive at night, so we're working on it, and hopefully when the spring comes, we'll see more participants,
Right.
staying later.
So you and I had talked about if people who wanted to sign up for the
Mhm.
dinner bell, couldn't come because they wouldn't drive, that there's.
I'm getting a list, I always,
Okay,
ask
'cause
them to
I
put
said,
a list.
I'm more than happy, I still drive at night,
Yeah.
my eyes out, but that's. besides-
And I can, I can talk to, program and maybe putting something on the front monitor that if they need a ride for dinner, they'll leave your name at the front desk and phone number, so we can coordinate that.
Since we're discussing it again, how do we expand the core group that comes so that more people know about that? I think having been at the last two, it's a lot of the people that are here all day that are coming from the dinner does the community at large know about it? I'm not quite sure.
Well, it's on our Facebook page. We put it in the Compass,
It's been in the hometown
it's
weekly.
in the
Yeah.
hometown weekly.
She put it
So I
in
went to the
news
presentation.
you.
Huh?
I would have to,
No, we have
I think Jen has, sent it to them, but I don't know if it.
I don't remember
didn't
seeing it,
see
but
it.
it could have been there. I just don't
Yeah, I
remember
can
seeing it.
check with her, and it was also on the Needham, Facebook page, the big group that everyone goes to.
And the need to observe that.
The Observer.
Yeah.
Well, I think Hometown Weekly has been very good to the senior center.
They have. Mhm.
Yeah, you know, they, I can see if we can't do some kind of at least an article or make sure that it's on the calendar of the Observer. And we'll.
So Ann and I went to the
Yeah.
presentation Sunday at the library,
And.
But- and that was mainly, or as my wife said, it's-
I've been to one.
she works, volunteers at the library, and it was all those people. But it was mainly an elderly crowd there. with that. And most of those people were subscribers. They said they,
Yeah, basically,
And
that's,
their business model, so to speak, is, at least to begin with, it's going to grow further, but is to really highlight stories, that's what I think.
yeah, I got mine,
Highlight, you know, like 5 really thoroughly good journalism, all of the wonderful things, but they're not going to accept ads.
no, absolutely.
And I'm not sure whether they would put this under.
yeah, no, so I think that's why, and I asked the question, because I think they're complementary to Hometown Weekly. I think the Observer is news up to date. What's going on in town, and Hometown Weekly is an over picture, what's going on at the library, what's going on at the senior center, real estate transactions.
Right, but we do political stories, not. So at meetings, town meetings, planning board, school committee, they're all covered. All of those meetings are covered by our reporters.
Yeah, that's news, yeah.
Right, right. No, we're not going to do advertising at all.
The fundraiser came out this week.
Yes, it did. Yeah, and we did well, really quickly.
Yeah.
It was great.
They're doing a nice job. It's nice, so.
Yeah.
And the churches know about the community,
Huh?
Annabelle. Most of the churches here in Needham know about it.
About the dinner.
Yeah.
We're putting signs up when, like a week before, like the dinner bell. This week or this, whatever day, of the week, this Wednesday.
We just got a sandwich board outside, actually, so
Yeah.
that's good. Did you see that? Yeah,
If you can
we could put it on
those
that, yeah.
around-
yeah,
Around town,
yeah.
Oh, we purchased that one for the senior center.
yeah,
but-
put maybe a couple of the signs that you,
Mm.
that would mean somebody had to put them up and take them down, but.
But there's, you know, I mean, there's tons of calendars that are being done. I know the Observer has does a calendar. I mean, the town has a calendar. You know, they'll take anything. If we can, you know, put something even like that.
And we posted it at the library, I don't know.
The history center, have you contacted the history center? Cause she puts out a calendar, so that might be an interesting, getting a different group.
We want people from here to go.
Get your own.
Cross-fertilization.
There you go.
Right.
Oh, before we got into this, I was trying to say something before you started, when we were talking about people staying at the, here after 2 o'clock. I think we have to think of something that will entice the men to stay. Ladies will stay and they have their games going. But you see very few men. There used to be a couple of tables of men that used to stay. I used to call them the Knights of the Round Table. Because they were always there and they haven't, but they haven't been here lately. Yeah, think of something that will hold the men to stay true. You know, the ladies love their rummy cube and they're playing all those games.
I haven't done it, playing something.
But I think there's like only 1 or 2 men that can play that. Gotta think of something. We've got the pool rooms, women don't go in there, but very few men. The pool people are the pool people. Okay, they know who they are.
Right.
But, we have to think of something that will grab them in, so they'll stay too.
I can think of something, but they couldn't do it here.
So we kind of got, like, I feel like we kind of got off track of
Yeah.
that from
From the goals.
from our goals. But, you know, the other thing is that, you know, a goal could be increasing participation after a certain time of night or afternoon, you know.
Well, that was part of the selectmen's goals a couple years ago. For the senior center to operate, I think, at night a couple days a week.
Right,
And on Saturday.
And we're
and
doing-
on Saturday,
Yeah,
yeah, at least Saturday morning.
Yeah,
right?
we
They gotta
started
get
out
staff
doing
for that.
once a month, on Saturdays. And the proposal was to have the fitness room, open on Saturdays along with other programs. But we don't have the staff that we could do it every weekend. And so we decided to try it out monthly and just see how the attendance go.
And as you said, you know, it boils down to how much money that we
right.
can
The town's.
get
gonna do.
right into our budget, because, you know, we can't open without staff. And,
Their goal is to get more money from the town.
right, but basically to increase our budget, which everybody is doing, and as we know, you know, we're not at the top of the list for doing that by any means,
None of
so.
those members are in this age group. Yeah,
I'm sorry?
none of those members at this age group,
Right.
once they get here.
Right. You know,
If-
but even in town meeting, and we still have the old, excuse the expression, the old standbys at town meeting. You know,
Anybody I know?
but it's not, yeah. But you find that a greater majority of people in a town meeting now are the younger, more vocal, stand up and holler. So,
So you find them and you have them back you. Now the dark box. No, since kindergarten.
yeah, so anyway. So we have a couple,
So do we need 3 or 4 bullet points just to?
yeah,
pass on?
basically, I think we have, you know, I wrote down operational goals, and that covers a lot of things, it really does. And senior housing promotion. I don't know if anybody, those were actually the two that and the other was participation, that I had talked
After
about, right,
Pointing out that community staff who have this,
right,
staff and time.
Right.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
then,
I think the goal, we have to send them, the goal is to get our goals meeting one.
and then with participation, we've been also providing, programming for Needham Housing residents, and we're committed to providing ongoing, different programming too. So along with the
is that
food
on-site?
pantry,
At
off-site,
off-site,
at that site,
expanded.
yeah, yeah.
Our staff that does here.
Yeah.
Survey that was just done. The number one issue is housing.
Yeah,
What
absolutely.
were 2 and 3?
Transportation.
I thought, yeah.
Yeah, well, I focused on socialization for sure. Transportation, I think, was up there. Yeah.
I mean, I think housing is not gonna fix tomorrow.
No,
No,
it's
years.
gonna take that.
But I do think we could have some annual goals that move us toward housing. I mean, I read that report and I was not shocked because I've been sitting in this room for a couple of years, but I don't think the general public of Needham is aware of what's happening.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
So one of our goals could be to raise awareness of the food insecurity of seniors, the housing challenges of seniors. I mean, I don't think people know, because this is Needham. It doesn't, well, yeah, I mean, you think of it as a really, and just thinking about the young people who have all moved in. I mean, I don't know what they do for work, but I wish I went into that career. like, I don't think they know, and I know we battle, not battle, but we have the schools. The public school.
Right.
Sort of budget.
Right. But, you know, I've said this before, and I think it's still true, although I haven't checked it recently, that the population of seniors is higher than the school population.
Really? So I think we should
Yeah,
start.
it's not mobilized like the school
Well,
population.
Yeah.
But I think it has to.
You know, can we do that? Can we
Well,
create,
so when
can
we
we
were
write
building-
stories? and-
Yeah. we need to put
What I
that
started
percentage.
getting at.
Right, that we need to have our
We need a
face.
marketing campaign.
Yeah.
When we were building the center. And we were talking about funding, we didn't wanna go. For an override vote because we were afraid half the cities would have been voting against, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
so we had, you know. Process took 20 years. Got done very well.
The seniors have problems with the housing. How about the food issue? They don't have enough food to eat.
No.
You know, is that a real issue?
I mean, you're talking about the mobile food pantry. And that
Yeah,
would be a goal that aligns with the survey results as
Right,
well.
I mean, the community
Yeah.
council, you know, they're obviously does an incredible job, you know, with food. But not everybody qualifies, and by that, there's a financial, you know, but I believe that there are seniors out there that just because they have the money does not mean that they have the ability, you know, to go shopping, get food, you know, that kind of thing, so I don't know how.
I mean, the concept of the mobile food pantry, is that for people who can't drive or travel, or is it for food insecurity?
kind of all of the above. We're approaching it more as like an accessibility issue because we don't want to just focus it as an income-based program because I think we'll miss a lot of people who maybe are low income but don't identify that way. So like Colleen, I think you hit the nail on the head, accessibility. A lot of people don't have the means to get the ingredients and then don't have the means either physically or if they have a cognitive decline to actually prepare the food. And the food pantry is great at giving out prepared meals when they have them, but that's not their focus. So our goal would really be to give meals that are just ready to go. That people can just take home and prepare.
Where would
You
you
know,
locate?
With, we like, there's vendors like Heart to Home Meals we use
No,
in
no,
the,
but where would you put the pantry? Where would,
I
your
think
mobile, where would
it,
you?
yeah, probably down in the cafe. I mean, we want it to be
Also
accessible
here.
and visible. Yeah, here, because we feel like we're getting a lot of people, that, like, we're delivering meals out in the community already, but I think there are a lot of people that come here that could benefit from like dinner. Like maybe we're giving them lunch, but they have no way to have a hot meal at night. Or one to take home for the weekend when we're not serving lunch.
So that leads to another thing, which is our kitchen.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there was money there should still be money there for a design, to redesign the kitchen. And, I thought it went out for bid, the person that got the bid fell through and it didn't happen, but nobody has done anything about it again. So here we are pushed to the back of the burner again, because because we're not yelling enough, we're not making enough noise, you know, but how many, you know, I know trying to get the door fixed between the and myself and everybody else here. How often we went, you know, I went to Kate about the door. I went to the selectmen about the door. You know, I mean. It's,
I mean, I think it's 100 people, 1,000 people need to go to start.
What was the magic thing
The little
that got it
campaign.
done?
that got the door
That
done?
got the door done? You put all these people, what, push the button to get it done?
Who knows?
Exhaustion from.
Maybe.
Straight to the maintenance guy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Really, you know, but I was talking to Yusel today, and he said there are things that are broken here that need fixing. There's a faucet that needs replacing, there's, you know, little things like that. He can't do it.
No.
Which is ridiculous.
Why he has it, but
Because he
knows how to-
doesn't, he's not part of the plumbing union.
Oh.
Oh,
You know, I mean, I can fix a faucet in my house.
Yeah, but you don't need a.
But I don't have my plumbing license, you know,
Right.
I mean, it's just,
My husband got into trouble in Alaska for doing that.
really,
Yeah.
I mean, and there's small things that are going on here that can be done. And we keep hitting roadblocks. Look how long it took us to get those stupid shutters off the building and refinished.
Maintenance isn't Needham's thing. You should know that. That's why Newman had $20 million for that. I'm gonna clean the roof, I'm cleaning the vents, I mean, that Needham's, you know, they'd rather have a house, a building go to crap than maintain it. And have to pay for it. It's the way it is.
I don't know. And, you know, I mean, I just, you know, the article in the Observer today about Charles River and all those housing units up near them, it just blew my mind. It's important, I think it's very important to have housing and stuff for, the Charles River, residents and stuff, but we've had property come up that the town just ignores, when those are the places that could easily have been bought by the town and used for senior housing.
That's not glamorous.
It's just not happening, and I don't,
I mean, we just completed a big housing study.
right, right,
The report came out less than a year ago. And now there's like several groups in town, there's
Right.
Housing Coalition, and then there's another group in town. I know the acronym HOME, they
right,
just have a meeting every week
right, yeah,
at the town hall. And so that process is continuing, and what we need to do as seniors is to get our voice in there with those people and advocate for our position.
so I met with a coalition group, and,
That's the idea.
yeah, and, you know, emphasize senior housing.
So that's a goal, to have us regular attendance, regular person, regular attendance at the appointment.
Right.
Attendance participation.
I attended a couple of the home meetings and, the recent ones I went to, they did not address senior housing specifically.
Right.
And we need to,
That's what we need to do.
Right.
seniors, yes.
But this MBTA, thing is interesting, I mean, it's a half-mile radius around
Right.
each of the train stations except for Hershey, they're not touching Hershey.
Oh, really?
No.
We've got
kinda
enough,
hard to
we've got enough, we can satisfy the goals for Mercy. We have
With,
corridor that we
right,
have,
right,
and so they say, okay, that'll be fine.
right, but because it's within a half mile, Wingate, the new housing that's going up in Wingate isn't counted.
Is that more than a half mile?
Somewhat.
It's more than a half mile.
0.7.
Probably 0.6.
Yeah.
5.5, yeah.
Well, so Avery would fit into that. You know,
Absolutely.
it's just amazing that nothing, that corporation is just sitting without a proposal on that property.
That property will be rotting.
Well, we helped Paul make them fall. I'm proud to say.
It would be too, and
Yeah,
it-
and that would not have said.
and I'm, right,
Housing or even.
and I was talking to one of the planning board members recently, but a few weeks ago at another meeting. And he said, you know, they easily can come back with the exact same plan that was rejected. That's the one that went, you know,
It's my guess that the corporation, which was from Colorado,
right,
that the cost structure didn't work for them anymore.
right,
They had no idea.
no. You know, don't tell, you know, how often did we hear that woman talk about what she did in Colorado, and, you know, I mean, there's a huge difference between Colorado and New England.
I have not been there, but they did build an art bill, I don't know if it's open yet, a big project on Fisher Hill.
But I'm
Well,
sure they found the
anyway.
cost of staff is so much more to Colorado that they just like, oh God. We can't get staff at, you know, $15 an hour.
Brooklyn just passed, I just saw the paper, they passed a whole new housing plan and zoning plan.
Well, so I'm pretty familiar with Harvard Street in Brookline, and the transformation on that street in the last 10 years is amazing in terms of housing. There's all sorts of new developments, and that's an appropriate spot to do it, actually.
Well, anyway,
So would they do the gray mark? On some, are they gonna bring Chestnut Street back? for them?
So it seems to be that most of the talk about the MBTA thing is focused on hillside, the other side of here, you know, across West Street,
right,
which there are possibilities.
And all along Highland Avenue and down along Chestnut Street.
right.
Yeah, Chestnut Street.
Yeah, Chestnut Street.
You know, I don't know how many of you remember Bill Tadaldi and his push for apartments over the stores.
Yes, I absolutely,
Yeah.
and I'm all for that.
You know,
Why not?
it's exactly,
The best place for senior housing is in a walkable
yes,
location.
yes,
That's why Manhattan is great for senior housing. They take the elevator down and there's a million stores.
right. Right, and that's why the Avery building would be great for senior housing.
Right, it's the best location.
My God.
Exactly. So, you know, do we need to find some contractor who's willing to, you know, approach the owner of that building and say, you know, I'll do senior housing there? I don't know, but
I
anyway.
didn't realize when it was not.
The other thing I would just suggest, I think from the housing study, the majority of seniors were in single family homes in Needham, so like thinking broadly about initiatives we can back to help those seniors stay in their home to make them more accessible. Things like funding for stair lifts or ramps, things like that. We have a lot of seniors who are looking for help with that. Housing wise,
And the repairs in the home.
repairs, yeah.
We hear
There's,
a lot.
Needham does have that small repair, I'm messing it up, grant that comes, I think, twice a year, but other things we can do in that arena to help people who want to stay in their home.
Yeah, and I know that, I mean, obviously the Exchange Club only does it once a year, but that, you know, that service.
Hugely
Good health,
popular,
yeah.
yeah. People love that, yeah.
When you set that up next year, the Exchange Club, several people called the community council looking for repairs and they didn't realize about it. Didn't know about it
Oh,
until it was
interesting.
closed, and then
Yeah.
I knew it was happening, but I couldn't remember who to contact. And by the time I did,
Right, the contacts were done through here.
it was, right, I forgot.
Right, yeah,
You know, I remember half, because it wasn't important to me personally, but I knew it was happening. So if you could specifically get the information to the community council,
sure.
I think that would be very nice.
Electrician, plumber.
Right, yeah,
contractor.
exactly.
I don't need a lawyer doing repairs.
If he's a good repairman, yeah, why not?
Okay, anything else? On this subject?
The minutes?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I did,
So, you said anything else? I'm
no, I'm not ending the meeting, I'm just getting over this. Sorry. Oh, that's right, right, so that's okay,
I think you've got
Senior
to
living.
work with that.
right, exactly, right. So, just so Faith doesn't get nervous, we'll do approval of the minutes, and then I want to talk about the, advisory board. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of whatever, October? Sorry, I wasn't here, so October 12th,
I moved to the approval second.
thank you. Any, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I'm abstaining,
Yeah.
because I wasn't here.
I'm abstaining.
Faith,
Yeah, I do a lot too, that's why I'm.
two were abstaining because we weren't here. You and Sue. Okay, thank you. Okay. the advisory board. So this is a group, and Ann is on the advisory board. And so both Anns are on the advisory board. And I have been attending their meetings, which are usually at the most every other month. And either one of you want to talk about the history of it, since, you've been on it certainly longer than I've been attending.
I can't remember the date exactly, but it was under Jamie Gutman that that was when I was, I became new on it, and it was sanctioned by the council, so it was.
Right, it's a sub,
Division
right.
of the council. An agent, so I guess it's something appointed for it. And we met regularly. But I think the consensus was what can we do? We hear the talk, and I think the most significant input was reflecting what participants were saying, I mean, that they've been wanting and programming. We influenced that to a degree. We did, we really spent a lot of time on how to evacuate buildings, safety. So a couple of members who were very, very concerned with what would happen. And we spent lots and lots of time and put together a thorough report. And Marjorie Gollitz was our scribe, so she kept wonderful minutes, and she kept referring to those minutes and wanting to know where are these things that we said we should have here, and how are we going to get someone at this level of an emergency to an end. So then that kind of got, well, that's someone else's area. Some things did happen, like the latest, but I still don't know if there's a plan.
The evacuation for.
How to get someone who's needs to get from here to.
Yeah, when we had a fire drill where the fire department came through and they told us that the deck would be a safe area and the ladders could be used to remove anyone that couldn't go down the steps, or they would be able to transport people down the steps.
That's right, I
Yeah.
do recall now, so we were, it became the fire department's purview, so to speak, and they were.
And we were to meet in the parking lot, yeah, so we are thinking, I know we'll be reviewing them again.
So, at this point, I think the staff is so hands-on, so, in tune with the participants, and the participants are very comfortable going to them, and making their goals and things, I just felt it was kind of unnecessary. So that's that, and I don't know whether that has to go before any form of the town meeting committee to disband it, or.
I don't believe so, it's an appointed committee by us,
Okay.
so I think it's something that we made the decision on.
And
I know
different perspectives.
she does.
because she-
I know that, the committee right now, is being chaired by Sam, Hart. He no longer is willing to either do it, chair it, or be on it. I don't know about Adele.
I talked with Adele. And, she's, you know, feeling very happy. She doesn't know whether she needs to. I bet with Adele, wants to continue. But. And then last time.
Right. Anyway, Anne does have a
So I'm
different outlook.
I'm a new member to this. You have the history. I've been on the board for about a year now. But I think I feel as though we're the eyes and ears. Because everybody on our board is active here and they're doing something here. They're here during the day. And they listen and they talk, at least I do, and Sam used to do that when he was, Sam, you'd find him sitting downstairs in the caf, and he's sitting there, and the guys are coming up and talking to him and everything. And I feel as though we listen to what's going on, and the other people say, but you have this kind of a program, like this doesn't work, or how about doing this, and they will talk to us, and they know that we could forward this on. I know sometimes we would sit there and we'd say, what can we be doing? You know, we should be doing
Right,
more.
because that's the way the last 2 years that I've been attending the meetings,
Yeah.
I just feel the biggest conversation is about the heat. That it's cold, and, you know, and too cold in these different rooms, and there's, you know, and the conclusion was always, well, there's nothing we can do about that. It's not controlled by us, you know, this kind of thing. And I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
But I think, and the people will talk to us, and they know that we will go the next step, and, you know, if we have to talk to you, or we talk to some, they don't mind doing that, and they know who, I mean, I see it happening to myself, I'm in all these different classes, and people will come up to me and, you know, start talking about, you know how they talk. You know, I will follow through, and we're the eyes and ears, but we do need some projects. We need something.
I think what we probably need to do is a version of what we just did, kind of come up with goals.
Yeah.
Right, but at the moment, there's really like two of you.
Right.
And the thing is, you know, I think our staff is more attuned, maybe, than, yeah, I don't know how to say that without sounding insulting, I don't mean to. I think that the staff is aware of some of the wants and needs more so maybe than, because in the meetings that I've been in, and I have not heard that there's something that's a program that somebody wants, and that advisory committee is gonna go and talk about getting it. It's like if they have, for instance, a program, they go to Aisha. Or if there's, you
Well,
know,
I know one thing that board people would say, if we were having a board meeting, we wish that, you know, Latanya could have been there, or Aisha could have been there, so that we know where it was going, and we came up with ideas and stuff. That's how I.
The question is, how many different boards do you need? You know, the function, since Carol and I joined, the function of this board is totally different than it was 20 years ago. And it has a lot less influence than it did then. In terms of,
outside
since the structure of the senior center changed and Tim was put in charge of everything, it has changed the function of this board. I would say as an aside, I think Tim should be at all our meetings. And you know, to give the board
I
more
agree.
credibility.
I agree. You know, but I do agree too, that when we were down at Stephen Palmer, I think we were much more vocal, viable,
Well,
you know, we seem to get more done than we have now that we're here. We got this center, so what else do you want us to do, kind of thing, so. Latanya.
So, as I remember, and you know, I've been here a long time, the advisory board, when working with Jamie, it was put in place because we were moving to a new building and we didn't have a lot of programs in place at the time, and we weren't sure about what to offer. We were all over the place. We were trying to reach younger seniors. We were thinking about fitness programs, so that's when Jamie just said it would be good to have an advisory board to coexist, along with the council on aging board, because they could provide, you know, like some type of direction with, programs, that they may hear and be a support system to the participants that are here. But now participants just come into Aisha's office, they go into Jessica's office, they come to my office, they write letters, they'll stop you in the hallway, they bring, bulletins from other senior centers, newsletters, and they'll bring cards about different programming too, so it has definitely changed, the dynamics have changed.
I see the
That's a
council
good point.
I mean, I see the council on aging, we have a much broader mandate.
Right.
So I mean, just listen to the reports of, you know,
Yeah.
social work and Shine and so on and so forth. That's the council on aging.
Right,
The advisory board's goal is this building,
yes,
okay, and
and the people in it.
we
Yeah.
peripherally you might get involved in something in the building, but we don't get down to the nitty gritty. That's the staff and the advisory.
So if we continue to support having an advisory board, I think a couple of things have to happen. Certainly, we have to have new members.
Absolutely.
Because in reality, right now, it looks like it's the two of you, and, you know, when you're serving on this board, it might not be feasible for you to serve on that board at the same time. So new membership, the number, you know, some goals. So that would have to take place. And to let the participants know that you're an advisory board to this board, and that if there's something that they need to talk about or concerned with, to go to the advisory board. And then it comes to us. I don't know, but, other than that, we can reestablish it, so to say, you know,
You should.
have a meeting with those who are still on this board and talk about either, enlarging it, not enlarging it, but replacing. Because, at least 3 of the members of the 5 that were on it. So,
That sounds good.
But I think when you have a big gathering of people who use the tap, like movie day or some other, or even the dinners, speaking on tennis. You could bring up the fact that there's an advisory board and we'd like to have your input, and these are the members of the advisory board. And then maybe they have a meeting and they invite all those people to come.
yeah, I'm not sure that everybody knows that there's an
I don't think
advisory
so.
board.
No.
And I think that's part of the thing. I think you need to, if we continue, I think it's something that needs to be sort of like Ed just said, presented to the users, that there is a place for them to go on a daily basis or a monthly basis.
Yeah, you know, just.
But I know I've sat there for ages and heard, you know, what are we gonna talk about besides the heat?
Well, so I don't have a strong opinion either way here, but is it better for the participants to go, I'm just throwing this out, to go to the staff with issues than an intermediary?
Well, I think the staff probably has better things to do than to listen to somebody who is complaining about something or looking, you know, if it's a new program, you know, I don't know,
I'm more thinking if someone's uncomfortable coming to us, you know, if they want some anonymity, it might be a safer place. I don't mind the complaints about the heat. I'm pretty used to them, but yeah, but I can see if they're uncomfortable, that, you know, saying it to someone they see every day, maybe.
You know, I think it places the participant in an awkward position in several situations to go directly to staff. For example, Usher, who's programming, my experience, people have complained about being assigned to one space as opposed to another space. Why the other group is in that space, they're bigger, they're smaller, they're something else. But they were not, they didn't want to go to her. They came to me. Not that I could, you know, I just, and I spoke with Aisha, and I think Aisha had a heads up and she was more comfortable or more prepared for the attack that they were going to, for their attack. And, so I do, yeah, I think that is important as a go-between and a conflict resolution. And there are people who, if they see an advisory board member.
Do they,
But do they know there's?
they need to know there's an advisory board and who they are.
Email them and say, hey.
Time, yes. The old timers did know. That I was on board. And they thought I could do anything. That's,
So why don't
they
we,
learned quickly.
so,
That's not the case,
Should we
but
have a complaint email and
so why don't we hold off on the dissolution of this committee and have the committee get back together again? Talk about, you know, their goals, talk,
Getting some new members.
getting new members, think about people that would be, you know, a good partnership with them because they're here a lot or they're vocal or whatever. Yeah, not all the vocal ones are gonna
it's
be
not
good.
a conflict. I'd be happy to work with you.
And I'd like to be included in that meeting, so,
And-
If
did
I,
they have a thing that regarding the building and talking about the building, doing all that stuff? Did they do work on that at all?
no.
So we are, both council is doing the building part. Cause we were the ones that were over, you know, this is what we need to change and stuff like that.
Yes,
The physical.
yeah, the
Physical
physical
structure.
building, yes. Yeah,
Whereas they're more
But they're just
programming,
do the
what goes
programming.
in the building.
yeah, it was basically a building committee,
Yeah.
so.
On this, advisory bid, I think it's very good to have it, and I think you say you need new blood. And perhaps it could be a notice in the compass. And with, if there is an advisory board, and if anyone has a program that they should go to the advisory.
Put their pictures in the.
No, it hasn't been in the company,
No.
people don't know, I mean, that you see it listed.
Yeah,
The council on aging, you see the advisory board, but you don't know what the advisory board do.
Yeah.
And so it would be, it would encompass, maybe in Latania's letter, just to.
you know, some people,
Little.
I'm on the, from reading the compass, and if I'm in the gym, they'll have, you know, complaints that they'll.
Yeah, and for instance, today was at the dinner,
Sorry.
I mean, there was what, 100 and some odd people there, and I, you know, did the 2-second thank you for coming speak and introduced myself as the chair of the board, because not everybody knows who I am. I'm not here a lot during the day. I have other things to enjoy. Around town, that I'm sticking my nose into. Anyway, so why don't we leave it at that and, see what.
does it make any sense to, say something in the compass or somewhere, that there are openings on the board.
I don't think.
I
we
think
should put
we
it
should-
in.
That's an addition.
I think you should meet first
Yeah.
and talk and, discuss basically where you go from here. I think you open up Pandora's box, in a case like that. Because you don't want somebody on that, that's going to be. Thank you.
Yeah, but you do probably want someone who is here,
Yes,
you
a
wanna
lot.
make sure they're here a lot, so you're gonna
You
go
know, if
around
they
and
have
see, yeah.
suggestions too, they might know something.
Yeah.
We'll take your suggestion.
I think flyers here, you're gonna get the people that are here. I mean, flyers in the cafe. The thing about doing the compass is like she's doing January, February now.
Right, yeah,
So by the time it actually gets in the compass. you
yeah,
know,
they got in. it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It will probably be the spring, so it's a long time to wait.
okay.
Yeah.
Latanya, you and I talked about another, group, another committee. Do you want to bring that up tonight?
Yeah, so one of my goals was to kind of focus on, diversity and equality. So I wanted to know if it would be possible to establish a diversity council on aging advisory board. And the reason why I wanted to do that was to, have the board to make sure we're providing, promoting diversity and also providing a welcome environment and also making sure we're providing equality and equal resources for all the residents of Needham. If you notice, some of the diversity stuff has been done by programming, social workers, but it would be good to have a solid foundation that kind of helps us make sure we're staying on track and also bring suggestions. And I don't know if they could be combined
Right, that's what-
with the advisory committee to kind of strengthen the advisory board too. I just thought it would be a cool, something different and something that's dear to my heart.
right, it's another, yeah, right, yeah. So maybe when you meet, when then Latanya hopefully can join us and talk about what she's envisions. Sounds good, go from there. Okay. Carol, I'm sorry, I always wind up doing you last.
Don't worry. No problem. The Friends, have, had two people resign, and we have two new members, a man and a woman, which is very good, and they're not. And I think they will be very good to help out. The gift shop is changing. We have two new members who are, in charge of the gift shop. And, it's no longer called the gift shop, it's the boutique. It's upscale now. And if you look in there, it looks much better, and they've done very good. And they've added more shelves along the side. So, and I think Stefan, used to put them in, and the Friends paid for the shelves. And he's gonna be put some more, so there's more space, and it looks much better than all. But anyway, so things are going well.
The other thing with the boutique, there's a sign out now,
Yes,
and all of the, well, you wanna speak to that? Oh,
well, no, we had a sign for what people were giving things to the, and we just wanna make sure it's clean and everything. So we have a gift shop policy that the board, the Friends approved, and all the workers of the gift shop, and just very nice, thank you very much. All the workers, see, they work sometimes 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon, and they never see each other. So she had a meeting of all her gift shop, the boutique workers. And so they get to meet each other, and they also approved, the Friends approved this what can accept, and all the workers approved it also. So there is a policy, it's written up, and I don't know, I don't think just some of that, Jen did, I think, in plastic and everything, it's right in the window, so people know what they can bring and what they can't.
And all the volunteers were informed, you know, that work there were informed that this is what you can take and this is what you can't, but which is a lot easier if it's there in
Right.
black and white, so.
Big point of people.
Okay, anything else, any old business?
The old business I had sent a email. Annie sent it out, Heather, if there was someone that could participate on the new RE, meeting.
On the new what?
The Needham Resilience Network, not every meeting,
Oh, right,
and I was looking for someone from the board that could also. I can send it again and we can discuss it for the next meeting. I think she might have sent it, did I send
Yeah, you sent it.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you go to some,
Some,
but you
yeah, I
can't
can't
go,
go to the ones that's at town hall.
right, so you don't need somebody that goes every single
No.
meeting, you need someone that can fill in, so to speak.
When and how often?
I will have to look at it again. I think I said not every month, bi-monthly, but I'll look at it.
And to
Okay.
do what?
Yeah, so-
Oh, okay.
I don't know, what would they be doing at the?
Normally we just, it's a town-wide, meeting, and they discuss issues of diversity that's coming up and work on initiatives, and that's it. It's more like a, putting together a protocol if there was an emergency, you know, need to get the information out to the community, how to respond.
Would be listening and learning at that.
Right.
Okay, so Anne, you're gonna consider it.
Yes.
I
Okay.
consider it too.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything else? May I have a motion to adjourn?
Some
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Ooh, my phone.